introduce Dr. Katrina Hannah Pittman. This is how I do it. I would say, she is our middle baby girl. She was the fastest and the best kickball girl in the neighborhood. She was the #1 Girl Scout cookie salesperson in the Southeast region 2 years in a row. She's an excellent soccer player at Towers High School. She was a cheerleader for 4 years of high school. She graduated cum laude from Spelman College. She got a master's degree from Clark Atlanta University. She has a doctorate degree from Argosy University in Sarasota, Florida. She's married to a dentist, Mr. Bobby Pittman. She had blessed me with 3 beautiful grandchildren. She and her family go to church every Sunday, and they serve at church. I saw Bobby driving the pickup thing that give people a ride when you're old. She is one of my prayer partners. So the next message I would say, you're going to hear about Dr. Pittman, but let me tell you about the professional Dr. Pittman. Here we go. Dr. Katrina Hannah Pittman is the esteemed owner of a Paradigm Shift. Her practice is located in East Point, Georgia. She's a licensed psychotherapist with over a decade of diverse experiences and a terminal degree in counseling psychology. The mastery of her crafts allows her the ability to navigate seamlessly between coaching, counseling, and consulting, both in the private sector and corporate work. In addition to being a prominent therapist, Dr. Trima has presented at conferences and summits, as well as been an expert guest on podcasts, television, radio shows, speaking on the topics of trauma, challenging behavior, social media, stress management, relationship, and mental wellness, which is her thing. She's real strong on mental wellness because she says that mental wellness prevents mental illness. So that's Dr. Pittman. I could go on and on telling you about it, but look her up. Dr. Katrina Hannah Pittman, A Paradigm Shift is the name of her company. I'm her own business. If I need therapy, she charge me. If she need therapy, I give it to her free. Something wrong with that. But I am so proud of her. Now, I have some other daughters in here, Lynn and Connor. I'm proud of y'all, too. Let's get that straight. But today, after this last selection of music, and I won't know you've enjoyed the music for long, but we're going to bring her on the floor. So we'll be back, and she'll be coming in 1 second. Watch for her. Last music. Go ahead.
have fun? Was it delicious? And how about the connection that you've had so far? Great conversation, enjoyable laughter I've seen, hugging. I love it. I love it. So in a minute, I'm going to ask you to do something for me. But for now, I want us to embrace ourselves in the greatness of what today represents. It's the greatness of you. So, our bellies have been full. That means our body is taken care of. We've had wonderful conversation, spirit-filled conversation, and the atmosphere is ushering in the spirit of greatness. So body, that's one. Spirit, that's two. And now I'm going to ask you to do that thing. Can everybody say shift? Shift. Say shift. Shift. Yeah, that's it. A paradigm shift. Paradigm shift. Simply put, it's that moment of change, that shift in your perspective from something old to something new, that new way that you are looking at it. Your mind, the way your mindset is. So once again, everybody say shift. Shift. All right. All right. Welcome to this gathering of greatness. Take a moment, really. Take a moment, an intentional moment. Look around. Look at the beauty of who you are through the people that you see. Allow yourself to imagine the possibilities of greatness that dwell in us. And I'm wondering, can you remember a moment in time where you've had to pull on your own inner strength? Can you imagine an opportunity where you've had that a woman inspired you, mentored you, poured into you? This is greatness. You are greatness embodied in a woman, our womanhood. We are great. We are powerful. We are creative, imaginative. We can do anything. We're great. I would ask that you would allow me to just take this simple moment to engulf you in the mindset. Moments are the experiences of life. Moments make us. They make who we are. So in this moment, I want you to celebrate you, your strength, your womanhood, the ability for you to move and go and be creative, the things that we do in order to allow ourselves to be used in so many ways. Again, inventors, caregivers, reservoirs of greatness is inside of us. Everybody say shift. Shift. Shift, shift, shift. Mindset. You know, I was thinking in this gathering of information, getting ready to have an opportunity to just pour into you and receive some love as well. I noticed that globally, in my research, one out of three women across their lifetime has been sexually abused or physically abused. Also in my research, and this study is as late as August 2023. Also in that study, globally, women, we outpass men hands down when it comes to depression and anxiety. And further research in that article led me to realize that across the 4 generations of greatness that we are overwhelmed. Our generation, from baby boomers to Gen X to millennials to Gen Z. I even saw some Generation Alphas in here. That's my daughter, and I think another young lady in the back. Across the 4 generations, there are 5 things that are common that concern us. Our health, our mental health, finances, work-life balance, we're gonna call that life management, and relationships. Now, I love to delve deep into those topics, and if any of you want to hear more about it, you can definitely make sure that I get your email. But I do want to talk about it across the generations. When we're talking about health, from all the generations, we have a different thing that may concern us, but the reality is it may be aging, it may be illness, it may be body image. When it comes to our finances, do I have enough to retire? Who can I get to buy me a meal? Are we going to have a place to live? When it comes to our mental health and wellness, well, we just touched on that. And so let me pivot right here. Mental wellness really does prevent mental illness. The top 5 things that concern us are what our anxieties and our depressions are about. 49% in Generation Z are struggling with anxiety. 41% of Generation Z is struggling with anxiety. That's my 20-somethings. That's my 20-somethings, all the way down to my baby. She's 13. And it's no different from the rest of the generations going back. It's only a 7 to 10% difference. We all are struggling with anxiety and depression. So I want to say this loud and clear. Those are not terminal diagnosis. They're not. I don't know who told you that. You don't have to live with it. Anxiety and depression are symptoms. But when we don't deal with the symptoms, they become a syndrome. And then it wreaks havoc in all of these little areas of our lives, in our relationships, in our money. Because when our mind ain't right, our money ain't right. And the way we show up, our physical health and our mental health. What are we going to do about this? It's important. I just want to talk about it a little bit because when I think about the dating part, when I think about meaningful relationships, some of us, when it comes to this, let me just say this. Everybody don't want to get married. Everybody don't want children. We are whole, point blank, period. We don't need anything else. Those are compliments or tasks like his kids. But we are complete. We are whole. We have a reservoir This thing carries dreams. It supports visions. It paves ways. It breaks chains. We are powerful when we are walking in our greatness. But these things I've talked about, they challenge our greatness. So I said that about the kid thing and the spouse thing. Everybody say shift. 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 Don't do a silent quit. Just because something in your life hasn't come to pass, sometimes we can, I don't want that anyway. It's a silent quit. We do want that, but we're struggling to deal with that. When we're talking about that anxiety and that depression, your subconscious mind uses emotions to express itself. Your conscious mind uses words and thoughts. So if you have an uncomfortable emotion, that means you ain't dealing with some stuff. Simple. You're not dealing with it. That's where your anxiety is coming from. That's where your depression is coming from. And I'm using it as a symptom because we all got it, diagnosed or not. It is in our life. It is what we go through. It's the ebb and flow of life. It is what is calling and pulling and toiling with us and dragging with us, what we have to contend with every morning just to get out of bed. Everybody say shift. Shift. So what are we going to do about this? I got an idea. Now, again, I love the mind. I love me some brains. And mental wellness is where it's at. It's where it's at. So we shift. First of all, we got to remember that we didn't come to fix it. We came to survive it, to navigate through it, to lead others through it, even if we got to be a trailblazer. So, when life happens, when life is life, tossing us to and fro, when we're everything to everybody, right? And doing everything to everybody, right? Where are we? We're so busy being everything and doing everything to everybody that we have lost ourselves. We don't even know who we are. What's my name? Can somebody tell me my name? Amen. Thank you for the reminder. That's that support here. Because we can get lost in the sauce. But we're the leaders. They follow us. Again, it doesn't matter if you have a child or not, a husband or not. We are followed just because we have something to carry. We strengthen ourselves. First thing first, self-awareness. You can't do nothing without self-awareness. And not the self-awareness of how I look over here. Not that self-awareness, the inner part. The inner part. Who are you? Part of your anxiety and depression, stress, overwhelm, fear, it comes from things eating away at our greatness, making us lose ourselves, the tethering away of us. We must strengthen what remains. Self-awareness allows us to check in. Okay, do I even like this anymore? What's going on with me? Why am I feeling this way? Okay, girl, you need to check yourself because you just went off. If we're not tending to ourselves, we got a problem. We can't walk in our greatness. Mind your mindset. Guard your focus. I want to pivot a little just to talk about, when I'm talking about this self-esteem, self-worth, self-awareness, all of those self things. Awareness is first, and then you get a concept about who you are. And then you either feel good about it or you don't. Our problem is we're doing too much. We're staying busy. We too busy. Sit down somewhere. Take some of that stuff off your agenda. Slow down. Spend some time with you. Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are in this season? Because you ain't the same. Self-awareness is a lifelong practice. You check in, just like the quarterly account check in quarterly with yourself. Some of us think what we do describes us, how we identify ourselves. We are nothing. What's in us is the greatness inside. It's our character. It's our resilience. It's our forgiving spirit. It's our perseverance. And maybe when we stop being so busy and trying to fit in here, being everything to everybody, everywhere we go, how many of y'all find yourselves getting in a little box so you can accommodate them? We got to stop that. That's not fair to the greatness in us. We must. So after we ground ourselves in self-awareness, we must walk in our own agency. Too many of us, we don't own our agency. That's how we get caught up in some of this stuff. Open your mouth and speak your voice. You have the right to change your mind. When we own our agency in things, we don't have to compromise. We don't have to deal with transactional relationships because we're owning, we're walking in our authority. We get the option to choose. But if we're not confident in walking in this agency, people will come and they'll pick at the greatness. They'll tear us down. They'll wear us out. We're trying to accommodate getting in that little box, and they liking it because we don't have our agency to say, no, you know what, that doesn't work for me. Own your agency. One of the other things that we need to do, again, guard your focus. When you have things, when you are about business, all kind of distractions will come. Guard your focus. You have to put on the right mindset. Life is going to toss us left side to right, upside down. We have inner storms and outer storms. And when they are colliding, we must be agile. So, an agile mindset. One of my favorite quotes is the illiteracy of the 21st century is not whether you can read or write, but it's rather you can learn and unlearn and relearn. Being agile. Knowing how to change position. Because some of us get fixed and stuck. So what's in this season is not necessarily going to work in the next season. We are charged to go forward, to produce. And we're going to do it no matter what, but it's what are we producing? What are we producing? And when it comes to, again, when it comes to mindset, take an assessment. Pull out your reservoir of greatness. What do I need to go forward in this challenge? And I'm saying challenge, but sometimes it ain't about a challenge. It's about a new adventure. It's about a dream. But when we assess our situation, we're able to take inventory and see what's working opposed to what's not. Strengthening what remains. And if it ain't working, let it go. Pivot. Again, change position. Pivot. It is a necessary requirement if you choose to continue living, because living is a choice. You can exist till the day you die, but living and walking in your greatness, oh, it's a choice. It's a choice. One of the other things that I would just like to tap into is we have everything that we need. It has been given to us. Everything in the heavenlies for everything in this natural. Now, sometimes it don't feel like that. It's okay. Sometimes the pilot light can go out. And that is why the last thing is very, very important. Meaningful connections. Meaningful connections are a requirement. When we are exhausted, when we are confused or stressed, it's these meaningful connections that take place, that lift us up. They are purposeful. They challenge us mentally. They support us emotionally. They also strengthen us physically. They're real and they're needed. And I'm not talking about the support that we can get from our male gender. That's okay, that's good. That's a compliment, that's an add-on. But what we need is each other. How can I not like women? I'm one of them. That's an issue. And not with y'all, with me. I got an issue if when I came in here, and you can look at me only and blink. If you one of the ones that came in here and he was like, look at that, what she got on. Now she knows she don't need to wear that. Check yourself. Check yourself. There's something wrong with us if we can't get along with other women. It's something in my mindset that's limited. Help me. Now, we love connections where we get along, like-minded people, like all of us, like-minded. They give us comfort. And also, spend some time around the ones you don't really like that much. On purpose. Learn from them. Now, I'm so grateful of the women I have had and have in my life. I'm 50 wonderful, and I don't know how to shop. And if I didn't have my sister and my niece, my mama, and all my friends who will help me, I'd be SOL. For the ones who know how to keep me calm and regulated. We need them. For the ones that's quick on their feet and I can tell that person out, because I don't want to go handle my lightweight. We need them. The ones we don't want to be caught with you, but we do some of the stuff you do. It's the spice of life. It makes us who we are. You're limiting yourself if you only deal with your comfort zones. You are charged to step out of your comfort zone and create comfort or be resolved in discomfort. Because sometimes there are no happy endings. Sometimes there ain't no good solutions. And so we accept. We accept. We don't have to agree. We don't like it. But we got to accept it. The reason why we got to accept it, so that we can take just a moment to sit in it, to assess it, to know what it is that we like about it and what we don't like about it, to be able to think about the solutions that can come up, and then we get out of it and go forward. We must go forward. There is nothing good staying still. And I don't care how old you are or how young you are. Some of y'all think y'all can opt out of participating. Just like some of y'all might not have participated in the little activities we did. That's fine for this little stuff, but I'm going to tell you, you can't opt out of life. You can't opt out of what happens to you, what comes into your life. You can't opt out of it. You got to deal with it. You deal with it. In the midst of crying because there are no good solutions, we forge forward. In the midst of it's so bad we don't even know what to say, we just sit and support. And we forge forward. There's some of the things that I definitely want to make sure that I say to you guys, and if I have a little bit of time left, I'm going to eat up some more of this deliciousness because it was just so much that I want to tell you. So much that is important for our survival. See, we are individually wrapped, and I did say earlier we have everything that we need, but we are also built for connection. I need you. You need me. I can't see what's on the tip of my nose. And all my valiant efforts, and me wanting to do it myself because everybody say we have to, I still can't see what's on the tip of my nose. I need assistance. So either I'm going to get that assistance through self by standing in a mirror, or I'm going to get that assistance from my sister who's going to tilt the angle right so I can see it. Connection. Connections, meaningful connections. That's the secret to life. People come and go. Relationships come and go. People die. We forge forward. We forge forward by building connections. And this thing, like, again, choosing to change position. So in one season of connections, you might have a very strict rule on what you don't deal with and what you don't deal with, and you've been burned a little bit, so you kind of know I ain't gonna mess with that no more. But be gentle with yourself, because in a different season, different factors come to play. And I will say this, great friendships, strong relationships, oh, you're going to have your test. And that's a good thing, because great friendships and relationships survive life. We got some people that I've known you for 20 years, and then all of a sudden you got mad and you cussed me out. I ain't dealing with you no more. I'm not going to deal with, really? You going to throw away all of that? Why can't you understand that out of the 20 years that you've known me, I'm in a space. I'm in a space. You can't cover me. You just going to ghost me. Because that ghosting thing is serious. But people ghost because they've been ghosted. We're going to get some of that get back. Relationships. Any good relationship is going to weather the storm. Any good relationship, any relationship, as long and strong as it can, you must expect disagreement or chaos. You must. And you roll with the punches. Some relationships you go back to salvage, to save. Some relationships, this season has passed. Because how many of you know that there are some necessary endings? And some unwanted welcomings. We don't have a choice at what life throws towards us. But we have all the power to be the thermostat, to direct it in the way that we need to suit us, to suit everybody that's involved with us. Has this been of value to anybody? Am I saying something that's important? Yeah. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you, as my time closes here, I just want to ask you something. Because you are embodied in greatness, because you can do anything that you can imagine, I want to ask you this. If you feel like it, close your eyes. If not, you can keep them open. But I'd like for you to imagine that in the very near future, you'll be walking out confidently in your greatness, embodied in everything that you've taken today. And hopefully it has ignited the spirit within. And as you walk in this greatness, know that whatever challenges come your way, you are filled with a reservoir of resources. You are capable, able, dependable. You are filled with creative ideas and witty inventions that'll get you through the next season. Imagine yourself, even with your next challenge, feeling the greatness inside of you, now hold that place. You feel it? The greatness in you? Do you see it? Do you see how you're operating in your greatness? Take a moment, an intentional moment, and feel the greatness as it swells up and engulfs you, empowering you to know that no matter what comes your way, you'll be ready. You will be ready. And now, holding on to all of that greatness, when you're ready, I'd like for you to come back to that present moment, filled with the energy, excitement, and the spirit of greatness ignited inside of you. Yeah, feel that. That's greatness. That's good. And so, whenever you need to, find a way to tap back into this greatness. Pour on, cover, shelter, because support is so powerful. When you can't stand, I stand in your place. I cover you. I shield you. Nobody will ever experience the things and the impact of life the way we do, just simply by being a woman. Celebrate your greatness. Celebrate your victories. And learn from your losses, because they're only stepping stones. Paradigm shift. Everybody say shift. Shift. Paradigm shift. Paradigm shift. Make a commitment to look at things differently. See yourself differently. See the situation differently. And live in the greatness of who you are. And when you are drained out, lean on a sister to ask her to pour back in you. You are mighty. You are valiant. You are devastating, innovative, vivacious, creative. You are whole, all by yourself. You are whole. It's been my pleasure to be of service to you guys. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So one more thing I want to say. You know, like when we're talking about this sisterhood, there's a very important person. When we talk about this sisterhood, so many of us, we just go through stuff by ourselves. We don't tell nobody. I've had people in my life that won't celebrate me, but I'll celebrate them. And that's okay, because everybody ain't able to do those things. But we are able to do those things. It's really about, do we want to do those things? So my mama told you I'm a therapist. And without disclosing any information, I had a client who I've had a very long time, in and out. And she's like, Dr. Pittman, how come I didn't know you had Instagram? Dr. Pittman, how come I didn't know you was going to be speaking on June 30th? I can't even be there. Don't you know I want to support you? I done sent it all out to my friends, and they coming in my stead. That is support. That is sisterhood. When you have arguments and you get so mad and that friend is like, this ain't you. You can be mad at me. I'm going to call you tomorrow. That is support. That's support. If we don't have any of that, if you don't have any of that, you need to get some. And guess what? You ain't ever too old. You're never too old. Don't think that you're out of a season. No, we're never too old. So my gift to you, I got a couple of gifts. So with your emails, I'm going to send you a gift. But today, you're getting a journal and an ink pen, a paradigm shift. A paradigm shift, because we're supposed to have many paradigms. As much as we are growing and changing, we should be shifting. So that old adage about, I can't forgive or forget, let me tell you something. You don't have to forgive or forget, but your memory of the experience better change. It must mature. So with your journals, forge forward. Have your paradigm shifts. Use it forever, for whatever you like. But take care of self. That's about you. That's about you. It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Katrina Pittman.